The first question is on page 7, where you gave this list of countries with their security challenges. And when you came to Nigeria, while Libya is facing the crisis of war against Islamic militants, Nigerian war was against Boko Haram. My question is, what is Boko Haram? Is it a militant, Islamic militant group, or what is it? Maybe that may be elucidated more. Now, the other aspect of the observation is the issue of, one, Mr. Chairman, let me say that for somebody to have built a house for you, marry a wife for you, give you a car to ride, certainly he decides when you sleep with that woman. What I mean by that is that you have become a client to him. He is the Lord. And no matter what late night, he may decide to call you to send you for an errand. And that's what I mean by he decides when you sleep with that your wife, even though it's legal to sleep with her. And I'm saying it is in the light of the kind of thing that we see between the foreign powers and African nations that try to, like you said, load a lot of things on us because we want to run an expensive leadership style. And I'm saying this in the light of the kind of salaries that political office holders collect in this country. If you compare with other sectors of the Nigerian economy. Now the issue is, the question is, how much do you see the possibility of making political office more service-oriented than monetary attraction? Probably this may reduce the level of crisis we are facing in this country. Thank you.
Is Nathaniel David, 300 level student of history department. So our guest speaker spoke mostly on politics around the international scene, let me say United Nations, and security challenges that affect the world in general, not only security issues in the developed world, but also security issues that affect the developing countries. So my question goes first. You said these 5 permanent security members of the United Nations, which are Britain, USA, Russia, China, and so on and so forth. So I want to know, whenever there is issue of insecurity, or whenever there is issue of chaos politically or any socially, you will see China and Russia appear to be more sympathetic or appear to be more liberal. So I want to know, are they trying to show us that Russia and China don't want to associate or link themselves with Britain and USA, or they are bed of the same feather? So I want to know, in the affairs of the international politics. Thank you, sir.
As an elder, what role are our northern elders, like yourself, General Gawan, Shehu Shagari, what roles are you playing to curb this menace? What advice as elders have you given to President Jonathan and his military advisors? What role also do you play in our legislatures? Because if you have a bad president, their constitutional powers, the National Assembly, as elders, have you ever called our political leaders, especially our representatives, to tell them point blank, if this man is not capable of removing this fighting, why can't you remove him despite all those unconstitutional roles he has been doing? Please, sir, with all due respect, I want to find out the roles played by the elders of Arewa in curbing the menace of this insecurity. Thank you. So with me, I have two questions, or let me say one question and one suggestion, or observation rather. The question is that if during Gawan regime, these are great country, when Ojukwu declared state of Biafra, we are said to have been, to wage, Gawan wage war against Ojukwu, saying there is treasonal acts against the country, Nigeria, as in trying to take part of Nigerian region. Now we have in the northeast zone, where some fellows, so-called Boko Harams, are taking over part of the country, and there is nothing like waging war against them or declaring that Nigeria is at war. So I want to ask, is that law that declares the Gawan Ojukwu war, is it not still in existence? And statistically then, Nigeria is not as populated as it is now. That is the question. The suggestion, I think the basic problem we are having in Nigeria is the fusion of powers. A Greek philosopher once says that for a smooth running of a government affairs, there must be constant and adequate separation of power. The executive should be independent, the legislature as well as the judiciary. But what we have in Nigeria today is contrary. Today we have a system where the legislature is compromising the executive as well as the executive compromising the judiciary, which ought to be the last hope of a common man like us. So that is the problem. Thank you.
Zaria. I would like to observe some few things on the issue of security, specifically with Nigeria, on the issue of Boko Haram. One of the fundamental issues I realized the presenter pointed out, though I came very late, I don't actually know if he actually elaborated on the issue of food security. There has been a serious debate on the issue of food insecurity in Africa, and as one of the propelling factors that has engineered a lot of crises in Africa, Global Profile Alliance has pointed out that the issue Nigeria is facing on this issue of insecurity, most especially the one that has affected Northeast, is that some multinational corporations are interested and have over time enriched their discourse on the issue of famine or hunger in Africa. And they've continued to pay, they continue to pay a lot of intellectuals to also guide them on that line. And what they did was that they suggested that biotechnology is an alternative means for combating Africa's food insecurity. And how are they doing that? They are doing that. Recently, Bill Gates bought over 500,000 shares in one of the largest multinational corporation biotechnology company called Monsanto. And they are working seriously to ensure that they destabilize various parts of Africa to allow them bring in a biotechnology that will improve seed variety. And you agree with me that a large number of the population that are displaced in Africa are largely agricultural producing communities. The issue here is this: we need to involve in participatory intellectualism such that we'll take what we teach the students, not only in the class, but we'll also take them to the masses. The implication here is that of that food insecurity, the biotechnology will not allow even farmers to have the seeds to plant in the next season, because that seed has been genetically modified, and that will have a lot of impact in our population. The issue I want us to put in mind here is that let us take this campaign to rural communities. Let's inform people. That is what they are doing to keep us apart, and they paid a lot of money to do that. If you want to know the operations of what these people are doing, I think I will recommend you to one of the best confessions of one of them, the Confession of an Economic Hitman by John Perkins. When you read it, you get to know what they are doing. The security issue is ours and ours alone.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Initially, the government didn't believe that it was a genuine terror group. They thought they were created by politicians, opposition politicians, to fight their political game. Now, recently, the chief of Obasanjo said he met with the president in the presence of two, and they said one of the questions he asked him, about 5 questions, one of them was, when I told you that this Boko Haram, you should do something about it quickly, otherwise it will get out of hand. And didn't you tell me that, okay, let them go and kill themselves? So you see, the problem the government didn't believe initially. And as the northern elders are talking about, I know the northeast elders, on 2 occasions, they met the president. And from the information we had from them, he was still not convinced that there was a serious problem there. So I don't think what else I can do. Well, I don't know what those elders, those who are former heads of state and former chief justices who are members of National Council of State, I don't know what advice they give them. But the problem is you have to have government that really appreciate the problem before they can do anything about it. And even if you look at it, the Nigerian military have been acclaimed all over the world in their role in various PCP. Now they can't even fight this group. They fought civil war. After 3 years they finished. Now, when the came, within a few minutes, a month, when the military came in, they dislodged him. But here we are. I don't know how many years now. And there is no end, no light in the tunnel. So, that is the position with the country of Boko Haram. I will not give it to Bukar to answer the points.
Well, thank you, the chairman. And also, I would like to thank the discussant. I was not disappointed after all, in the sense that I said he was going to fill up the gap. But in filling the gap, he said he was going to run away, but happily he did not run. He stood his ground, and I appreciate that. I want to start by saying that some of the questions raised and those who expect that I have come here to answer almost all what they expect me to do. I'm sorry if I disappoint them in some way. I tried to attack the topic according to the way I understand it. If I may confess to you, I was given the option to choose between security and folklore, which is my field also, and current challenges in national security and others. Well, I chose the one of leadership, security, and national development. I provided the general formula, which you can fill in the gap. I did not come here to answer questions about security situation in the country. In fact, I mentioned in the paper that if you ask any Nigerian, they will say security is #1 problem I mentioned it. I said, if you read the paper, I made a statement to that effect. I would thank the discussant. But I want to mention this. When some people come to me, say that they finish university, they have no job. They finish NCA, they have no job. I ask them, that's my relations. I say, you have certificate of in this and that, and you say you have no job? I said, yes. I said, what did you go to the university to do? The teacher who said the question knows the answer. But it doesn't give you the answer. He gives you a question, go and find thesis or something. What is he teaching you? Is it not problem solving? You find yourself out of job and you cannot solve the problem. Who tell you that your job is only in the government? I emphasize. I said, if you come and say, the teacher who said the question knows the answer. He's only teaching you that in life, you are coming across a lot of problems. And he's asking you like dropping a needle inside a haystack. And I said, go and find it. He's coming to, writing all these theses. Is not the thesis is not the end. And the certificate you take, even if you lost it, that's not the end of life. That what is kept in your mind is what you left in the university with. The capacity to deal with problems as you come along in life. So that is always what I will tell people who come. They say no job, they have certificate. I say the certificate is not the end of it. Have you carried bucket and digger to feed people? There are a lot of graduates here who go to America thinking they are going for greener pastures. They'll be there driving taxi. And in Nigeria, why can't you drive taxi? Why can't you do that? Until that main objective you are pursuing, you are achieving. But in the meanwhile, how do you survive? That is what you go to do in the university. Your horizon at the secondary school level and at the university level are different because they expose you to wider scope of problem solving. That is all. The essence of all what you are reading is just problem solving. For you as you go in life and for the community you interact with. So I've been given an assignment, another assignment. I didn't know. I came from the town to meet the gown. I'm going away with some questions about statistics. Certainly I couldn't have marshaled the type of statistics which are expected of me. This issue of paper, I was approached by professor of my countryman, Prete, about the time I came for the honorary doctorate. And that is when I said, put up this paper. My intention is to touch the base with the issues and let you in the academia develop on it. If you find some of the aspects of the paper is one you will suggest to your lecturer that I want to make dissertation on this, please develop it. That is how knowledge is developed. We raise questions, we have no answers, but some people have answers. And somebody was worried about whether Nigeria will survive. I said Nigeria will survive. This thing which was fixed in the mind of Nigerians was floated by one intelligence officer in just America. You know, they always have intelligence estimates on every country. They have the capacity and the financial resources to do so. A group of people, intelligence officers who said they will focus on a particular country. If we have the money, we'll focus on America and develop our intelligence estimates at how America will be in the next 20 years. Signs are there that there will be changes, definitely. Economic changes are taking place, and they are going to affect the political space. We cannot continue in this way. So I cannot answer all the questions. I did not keep something in my bag. I may have. In civil service, we have Official Secrets Act. But my former head of service is here. I've written about 30 books. A few of them are on public service. Voices in a Choir is on issues in democratization and national stability in Nigeria. They touch on ethnicity, religion, whatever, and our discussion touch on the military aspect of it. As of today, I'm not looking for any job. I've told people, I've worked for 30-something years under the supervision of the chairman. And if, having worked for over 3 decades, I could not solve the problem of Nigeria, I don't expect me to go back looking for a job in order to solve the problem of Nigeria. I can't. I've declared it openly, everywhere, that I will share whatever experience I have in service. I have written, is it articles or whatever? Even on Boko Haram, I said, let us start talking. Let's go and read my paper several years back. But when government made up its mind, said, we don't know people. We don't know who we can talk to. After this pre-verification on how to attack or tackle the Boko Haram insurgency in the northeast, reference has been made to Biafran War. In Biafra, we mastered about 3 fronts. Obasanjo was coming and Adekunle was coming from the riverine area. General Murtala, who lost a lot of personnel, was coming from Benin attacking. General Shua and others came from one of the communities, and they cornered them eventually in Owerri when they surrendered. Today, I can confess to you, I don't know the plan on the ground, how the insurgency in the Northeast is being tackled. I'm not there. I left 1999, and some people are wearing the shoes. The wearers of the shoe know where it pinches. I don't want to be outside and try to tell people that this is how we should run. Because they will say, when you were there, if you were able to, why did it go there? So don't go and poke your nose into something which you are not for. But I agree that maybe I left some issues which people want me to answer, but you have raised the issues. Some of them know the answer, including the discussant. He knows the answer. So arrange for another lecture for him. Well, the last discussant said John Perkins. I said, if you look my paper, I made a reference to it. So maybe get hold of it, or once you yourself, you have read it. How some countries undermine, some countries deliberate. They will come to dislocate your economy as part of their policy. And I am saying at the end of the day, what are they looking for? To control space in terms of access to natural resources or to trade, to sell their market. Anything. Issues of leadership at all levels. When we talk about leadership, of course, it is at all levels, including students' unions. I think somebody has mentioned that. I did not exclude, even at local government level. So when we talk of leadership, it is at all levels. Transparency at all levels. And I say some people stick out their neck and make the difference. And chairman was one of those who made the difference. He told us. Without inconveniencing your person, you cannot make a difference. I said people can apply law, the same law, but personalities behind the application can make a difference. And that is the issue I said. We have set up agencies to do transparency. Reference has been made to the judiciary, who are managing the judiciary. But you see all kinds of conflicting judgments. Somebody will give injunction to stop whatever, including maybe next time you may not drink water, you can stop you in injunction. Everything, something which can be dispensed with within weeks, takes years in order to justice. And the issue of justice in running a society has been underlined by Chairman as well as Indira Gandhi, who mentioned that without justice, you can't make it. So it's all levels. So the last point I would want to emphasize with you, the audience, those people who have been patient, and including those standing like policemen, I appreciate your audience. I'm sorry I cannot answer all your questions, but I hope I've raised issues which will continue to agitate your mind. And if you feel so strong about any particular issue, please suggest it as one of your theses, so that the deans who are here, your lecturers, will attend to you. They will not punish you for that, because you are opening new horizons. If I come here and I did not raise, you did not raise questions, I will not be happy. I'm most happy that in my retirement, you have given me another work. But let me tell you that my next assignment is to write the history of my village. Emphasis has been made about history, including the guy. I don't know whether the discussion is the historian, but honestly, you can't do without history. You don't survive on today only. You look back, you current, and look front. If you forget the back, you forget the future. It is the back is the foundation, and you should always rely on the foundation for looking in front. So after writing my village history, and which is the other one now, they have two, but I'm urging my chairman, when I embarked on writing, in spite of Official Secrets Act, which I swore, I still feel there are lots of information which are outside the official secrets, which people can write about. And I've been appealing, public servant, former public servant, current, as well as retirees and those in the private sector, how did they make it? Ask them, how did you make money? They should be able to write for people to benefit from it. I whispered to my chairman whether his autobiography is ready. He said he has not yet started. I hope. If he has not started, some of you here should be able to go and interview him. People are reluctant to write, but they can be prompted if you go to them. One thing which S.B. Awoni could not do was to write his autobiography, but he has written enough in terms of papers for you to read his mind. It is from what he left behind that I learned that he said he retired very early in service because he did not like the way Taslim Alliance was treated, Babatunde Joseph of Daily Times was treated, so he threw in the towel and left as a permanent secretary, just because of relationship in terms of friendship. These are ideas which you can stand for. So, catch chairman today, ask for appointment to go and see him and interview him. If he cannot write, he will leave some legacy. Thank you very much.
I will now have Burate to be assisted by Professor Kajiru, Director, Institute of Education, to present plaques on behalf of the Vice Chancellor to our chairman and guest speaker for today's public lecture.
It is my pleasure, on behalf of the University Vice Chancellor, Professor Abdullahi, to present this distinguished award to the chairman of the occasion in the person of Alhaji Abdullahi. Sir, this is Thank you, sir. The next presentation is to the guest speaker in the person of Alhaji Dr. Bukar Usman. Yes. A retired permanent secretary, a philanthropist, yes, and also a historian as well. So, on behalf of the University Vice Chancellor, Professor Abdullahi, it is my pleasure to present this distinguished award to you, sir.
Ahmadu Bello University, with your crest there, presented to Dr. Bukar Usman, OON, LLD, LLT, PhD honoris causa, in appreciation of your role as the guest lecturer at the Faculty of Arts Public Lecture Series entitled Leadership, Security, National Development, The Way Forward, held at Abu Zaria, ABU, Zaria on January 20th. I hope I have shown the way forward. But some people say I forgot the way backward. And even the current. Thank you very much, I appreciate it.
Attend this very important public lecture. On this note, I will now invite Dr. Idris Jimada, the Deputy Dean, Faculty of Arts, to give us the vote of thanks. Dr. Jimada.
Thank you very much. Well, do I need to say more? No. Thank you very much for coming. I think it has been a very wonderful event and also a very wonderful day. I think we cannot thank you enough for your support, your prayers, and your commitment to this. In fact, a lot of people are involved in making this event a success. And I will start with the Dean of the Faculty. For the last 1 week, we have been up and doing and going up and down. And of course, he has promised more. Please, the whole university community, not only our faculty, should expect more of this event as soon as possible. We will also call you. And we also wish you come the way you have come for this. Very especially to thank the Vice Chancellor for his commitment. And he actually assisted in so many ways than we know. Now, the chairman, I've known the chairman for some time, and we worked together. Just like when the discussant said, he saw the chairman in Arewa House, reading, studying. That is his nature. He's always there. We were working on the book with him, and he did a lot of work, telling us so many things about the civil service, about our society, and so many things. And I think we need to learn more from people like this. We call them in to come and tell us about ourselves, about our society, about how we can move forward. Because we cannot be in the circle. Anybody in the circle just continue to run around. So please, it's an honor to have you here, Chairman. The guest speaker too, we have to thank you very effectively. because you made it on time. It shows your commitment. You'll be here with us since yesterday, and it shows how you are committed to coming, and it's very good, please. It's very wonderful of you. Now, there are other people, the discussant talk. That is my teacher, my organ, and so on and so forth. I do not need to introduce him much to me. Those of us here, we all know him, and it's a very wonderful presentation. In fact, I think he filled in a lot of gaps from what we are learning, and I think we can learn more. Probably I'll also meet him to help me to fill more of the gaps that people have. Now, the deans and directors, there are so many of them here from other faculties and departments. I'm so enlightened to see that people have come from vet medicine. My professor is there, several from vet medicine, others from social sciences, Dr. Muktaka, and so many other people who have come from all over. Please, it's very good if you keep coming. We'll continue to welcome you. Though what we offer is very token, at least as entertainment, but I think this thing. There are other people, like HODs and others. Please, yes, no, we'll do that when next you come. Yes, there are HODs here from everywhere. Please, thank you very much for also coming. We're happy to have you. We always continue to remember that you have come. Yes, there are other people too. Students, yes. Great Nigerian students. Great Nigerian students. Thank you very much for everything. I know you will continue to support us in what we are doing. There are other directors that are outside ABU who have also contributed. Some of them, of course, have been able to help us in different directions. Now, the media, that is very critical. Please, thank you very much. NTA, Nagarata Radio, and so many of these other radio houses and television houses. Please, thank you very much. When we invite you again, I hope you will come. Please, always keep coming to us. Thank you very much. ABU cover publicity, and ICT ABU. Most of you, at least, you have been very kind to us. Thank you very much, and God bless. I wish you journey messages back home and so on and so on. Thank you very much.